After a full year of the Call of Duty community not being listened to, Modern Warfare 3 and Sledgehammer Games are completely changing that. Despite a lot of critic ratings giving Modern Warfare 3 one of the worst reviewed COD games that we've ever had, fans of the series are truly enjoying it, at least for the most part. With changes to the movement, bringing back these old maps, which a lot of people weren't too happy about, but honestly, I see a lot of the community warming up to it, and honestly makes me happy. Now, Sledgehammer Games has always been known as the Call of Duty to listen to their community, and a close second I feel is Treyarch. Definitely not Infinity Ward. And again, after a full year of just being ignored by Activision and having no changes be implemented into the game, it's a breath of fresh air. And with that, we got one of the best Call of Duty features to be implemented in any recent game, and I'm here to talk about that and also give you my review of what we just enjoyed for the last week. So with that being said, I'm Kid Covert, you're the viewer, so let's get right into it. That was for a special fan. So if you guys don't know or haven't played the game yet, or whatever the case may be, Sledgehammer has introduced an experimental playlist where they're going to test certain features to see if the community reacts well to it and eventually implement that into the game. Now, honestly, that's such a wonderful thing. I love that they're really listening to the community and actually testing to see how these ideas will work in the wild, in real games. And if you don't want to take part in that, you don't have to. That's the beauty of it. You don't have to play the experiment playlist. You could play regular playlist, hardcore, whatever it is that you want to play. You don't have to be subjected to these tests. And honestly, I feel like throughout the year of Call of Duty, it's just going to be a lot better. You mix that in with the communication that Sledgehammer is really bringing forth with their game on Twitter, with these updates. They're asking me anything on Reddit. This year is really looking promising, and I was really excited about this year, and I know that you guys know that I was excited about Modern Warfare 2 as well, so I hope I'm not biting my tongue later on. But so far, the experience with Modern Warfare 3 has been extremely pleasant. Now, the only thing that I'm going to gripe with, and I'll mention this in every video until it gets fixed, packet burst. Bro, that shit needs to be fixed like ASAP. I can't keep getting nerfed off of just a gunfight. And I just want to be clear, if anyone can help me with this, I've played on minimal settings, I've played on LAN, I've done the combination of both, I've tested so many options through many videos, and I'm still getting it. Like, it has to be from the server that's really dropping me like 50 frames every time I get into a gunfight. Because when I'm running around, I'm shooting at walls or whatever it is, my frames don't drop. Like, it has to be a server connection problem. But back to the point of this video, I'm sorry for getting derailed there. Get the pun. But I actually want to talk about what we experienced in the experimental playlist for the last week. So I'm not sure if many of you guys remember when we started first hearing about Modern Warfare 3, a lot of creators got a chance to play the game, and they were talking about a stroke or outline around player models to help visibility within the game. Came around to the beta, we didn't get that. Launch, we didn't get that. We were kind of guessing where that feature went and just assumed that it would have been scratched, but they actually returned it in the experimental playlist to see exactly how we all react to that certain feature in the game. Now, Sledgehammer has also stated that if the reaction is positive, then it will be implemented into the full game. Personally speaking, aside from this playlist being a thing, I love the enemy strokes on player model. It makes it so much easier to see. Sometimes it's a little bit like cheat codey, which I feel like shouldn't happen. Most of the time, at least for me, it worked the way that I always felt like it should have happened, where if you're looking like directly at the player, then yes, these strokes should happen. It shouldn't happen behind smokes, because that's the whole point of a smoke grenade and like these things. Maybe it could work where like through particles from grenade smokes, but I don't know how well that's gonna work. I'm not sure how much coding or detail that's gonna take, because that really seems like really complicated. But in general, through smokes really shouldn't work that way. But playing with these enemy strokes on these player models took this game up another level for me. The visibility is so much better, especially with how all these skins that carried over from the last game can also blend in, especially the Groot skin, which they also said that they're going to be removing to patch it to help with visibility issues. It helps the situation tenfold. Modern Warfare 3, it does have nice colors, but at the end of the day, they are Modern Warfare 2 maps, and back in the day, it was grays, browns, and greens. At one point or another, all meshed together and makes it a hard time to see. So personally speaking, I am all for the red outlines on enemies. Not to say that the old visibility was bad, but I love having that extra option. Keep in mind, I said option. I'd rather that be an option for players to have that stroke around enemies. If you don't like it, if you don't want to see it, then be able to take it off. Now, I do get the argument that in some cases it is going to be unfair. I just hope that if they do implement it into the full game, that it's going to be balanced. It's going to work the way it should, not through smokes, not through walls, whatever it may be, whatever glitches that happen. Because I've seen it happen where I'm looking at an enemy covered by like half the wall. They'll prone, and I guess it didn't take enough time to register, and I'll kind of see where they went prone for like half a second, like really really quick and it'll go away. Or I'll see like their full outline through the wall, where I feel like the stroke should only happen from what you could visibly see. If they're behind cover, they're behind cover. You're not supposed to know that. The community that does like the strokes on the enemy players, pause, we're not asking for wall hacks. Now, circling back to the entire playlist in general, I just want to give my thoughts on what we experienced in the last week, and I feel like it'll be completely beneficial to the game. I feel like it should be implemented into the game. If you don't agree with me, let me know in the comments. I really want to know what everyone else is thinking, because I only see a lot of what I follow on Twitter, obviously, and maybe some other opinions, but for the majority, I've seen a lot of players that are enjoying the red lines around the enemies. But if you're not, let me know that you're not. Let me know why. Maybe there's something that I'm not getting that maybe actually be detrimental to the game that I'm really not thinking about. But again, one more time, circling back to the entire playlist in general, I'm sorry that I keep getting derailed. There's a pun again. Aren't I so funny? And also going back to the Ask Me Anything that Sledgehammer did on Reddit, they were talking about loopable streaks where we don't have to die to earn our streaks again. And honestly, I've been asking for that for so long. I've been wanting it so long, because I hate that if I'm on a 10, if I'm on a 15, that I can't get my UAV to keep that going. At the very least, like, let me get my UAV. Let me get that edge. Like, I'm performing really well. And the point behind kill streaks and score streaks is to incentivize doing well. And it feels like once you hit your cap from what you put, then that's it. So I believe that they said that in the next experimental playlist, that's going to be a thing, the loopable kill streaks. To the whole point of everything, Sledgehammer is listening. This is the best feature in Call of Duty that we've had in recent Call of Duty, probably ever, honestly. I love that they're giving players choices to try these different things, to really change the game to how they want it. This is really a game for the player, regardless of a short campaign, reused maps, which I understand they are big issues. I'm not saying that they're not, but as for the multiplayer goes, this game is for the community, and I love to see it. The last thing that this game needs to fix, or rather the first thing to make this game one of the best Call of Duties ever, and I'll stand on that hill, if they tone down the skill-based matchmaking and fix that fucking packet burst, but mainly tone down skill-based matchmaking, make ping is king. Truly do that, and this game will be a top tier Call of Duty, maybe game in general. Once that happens, everything gets fixed, and I know I'm preaching to the choir when it comes to this, but I cannot stress enough the good that Sledgehammer is doing with the experimental playlist and its communication with the community. So thank you guys so much for listening. Please check out the channel, like, share, and subscribe if you guys are enjoying them, and I'll see you guys in the next one.